or two, so stay tuned for more on that. Want to make certain everything's working here first. If you've never tuned in here before, you're brand new to this. This is Weather Overtime. This is our online video weather blog from downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee, keeping you updated as to what's going on in and around portions of the News 12 viewing area. We're coming to you from around the area of southeast Tennessee, northwestern portions of Georgia, northeastern Alabama, and extreme western North Carolina. That is our viewing area there, and glad to bring you more information about what's going on with the forecast across the region. We do have a new tropical storm, new as of about yesterday. It looks like it should be a hurricane by the time we work our way into tomorrow about this time. So we'll talk more about Ernesto coming up in just a little bit. Plus, it's on the hot side both here and all around the world. Wish we had some better news where climate change is concerned, but as of right now, no good news taking place at this point as we have some new details from the World Meteorological Organization. We'll talk about that, and we'll take a look at the forecast coming up here for the course of the next several days. Downtown Chattanooga, beautiful tonight, a little bit on the dusty, gritty side thanks to that smoke out there. Winds coming in from out of the northwest, so we do have a little bit of a breeze. That's okay because, again, that'll stir the air around by just a little bit, giving us a little bit of relief out there for now. Traffic was pretty well backed up on 153 southbound at 64, but as of right now on the Plainview outdoor advertising camera, doesn't look like that's happening at this time. No problems with traffic there. From around the area of the Patriot Concrete camera, I-24 moving through downtown Chattanooga, and the lights up on top of Signal Mountain easily able to be seen. It is kind of hazy, smoky, but it's not quite as bad as what we saw last week. Tomahawk Crane and Rigging camera, lights are off around the 2475 interchange for construction work that is going on right back to the west of this particular area. All these cameras available on the EPB Fiber Optics WeatherCam network, looking northwest from the Chattanooga Zoo, Erlinger Hospital on 4th Street, looking across the railroad tracks and showing again some pretty quiet conditions for right now. And for much of the rest of the evening, I think we should be okay. Chances of rain not going to be happening anytime soon. Probably toward the end of the week, but nothing going on here. Chattanooga Theater Center camera brought to you by Speedy's Total Car Care. A lot of folks out and about over portions of the bridge. Tennessee River clear at this time, and a couple of folks out on the footbridge for right now. Temperatures at this point back into the mid to lower 80s, so it is still pretty well on the warm side across much of the region. We don't have anything in the way of moisture coming in, just the atmosphere just not set up for anything involving rainfall at this time. We did have some clouds poof up out there earlier thanks to a part, again, some moisture in the atmosphere for a little bit of showers over northeast Georgia and western South Carolina. So really just not that much going on. This stationary front here is the boundary between the drier, slightly drier air back to the north, and then also the more moisture-rich air down to the south. Meteorologist Jeff Berardelli, well down south in Florida, saying the dew point yesterday was somewhere in the low 80s. That is oppressively stinking humid down that direction, and that is where the moisture is staying for now. But this is our next storm system moving its way. This warm front taking warmer air out of the south central United States and pushing it over toward us. It will also bring us the potential of some more showers and thunderstorms coming on through. It really doesn't look like much for right now, but it is going to be that possibility of getting more of that activity coming on through. So that front tomorrow remains to our south. Temperatures could be in the low 60s in some areas by tomorrow morning. We get back up into the high 80s to the lower 90s. Clouds here and there running on either side of that front. Going into Thursday morning, mid to upper 60s to lower to mid 70s. And then that front approaches with that hotter air coming in. Notice the triple digits out here off to the west. And that is what is going to be partially moving our direction. We'll stay in the low 90s for Thursday. And then we get into Friday. Temperatures for lows, not that low, back in the 60s and 70s. More moisture-rich air heading our way. Friday, there could be some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Highs back into the mid to upper 90s once again. And for Saturday, we start to see again maybe a few scattered showers and thunderstorms towards Saturday morning, and then not much in the way of cooler weather. Matter of fact, into the weekend, it is going to be a little bit warmer, not by much, with high temperatures going back into the mid-90s. Also a good possibility that a lot of this smoke is going to be sticking around off and on through the next several days. It'll kind of wax and wane a little bit, partially due to the wildfire smoke coming in from out west, also partially due to the fact that we have our own fires around here. The red dots that you see, fires detected by the VEERS satellite system. So we've got more chances for smoke here and there. We've also got more chances of smoke sticking around, thanks in part to what's going on. Parts of the American West are just being lit up by all these fires. Likewise into southwestern and western Canada. So a lot of that was heading our direction. A lot of it's still stuck over this area. Some of this smoke coming up from Mexico, but a lot of it circulating around the area with high pressure, doing exactly what its name implies, just pushing down toward the surface and not giving us anything in the way of major amounts of clear skies, at least for right now. That'd be nice, but not seeing anything else really changing on that anytime soon. For those of you who are just joining us, maybe checking in for a second, welcome to the show. This is, again, Weather Overtime from downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee on News 12 WDEF from the CBS affiliate in downtown Chattanooga. We're live on YouTube and Twitch, and we'll be posting this to our websites, which you can see at the bottom of your screen, wdef.com/weather, if you'd like to tune in for more information there. Okay, so for the next couple of days, here's what we're going to be looking for. The temperatures will be on the rise. We should be seeing Island Cove Marina and Resort at Lake Chickamauga on the Tennessee River, and that, again, available from the EPB Fiber Optics WeatherCam network. For the next couple of days, temperatures should remain right about where they should be. 91, just a degree or so above normal. 90, we're starting to slack off on the numbers, so we're starting to get closer to autumn by just a little bit. So for right now, temperatures will be staying in the lower 90s for the next day or two, and as that warm front pushes into the area, we'll look for hotter temperatures for a day or two, and then dropping back to the lower 90s as we pick up more chances of rain starting on Friday. Yes, we did have chances of showers and thunderstorms on Thursday. We've taken those out of the forecast because it looks like the rain now making its way into the area on Friday. So there's really little, if anything, going on here Wednesday or Thursday, so outdoor activities look pretty good there, but more chances of rain on the way as we get into the weekend. Could be a problem for outdoor activities, but as of right now, the problem is that we really need the rainfall. The almanac today, 92, 2 degrees above our normal high, right at our normal low of 71. Record high 102 that hasn't been broken since 1956, and a record low of 53 that was broken or set about 8 years after that record high. We're now an inch and a half behind for the month, and we are now well over 6 inches behind for the year. So it's going to be a very dry midsection of 2024. We need the rainfall. We're just not seeing it at this point. Not going to be heading back our direction anytime soon. Now, what we could use is a very good tropical system, but we do not have anything like that heading our direction. We could use, again, the potential for more rainfall out of this. Ernesto is a tropical storm. The pressure is dropping. The winds are increasing. This does look to be a little bit more organized as it goes closer, right about close to around Puerto Rico. Started off in the Atlantic, making its way on through this direction, and so far that appears to be the only thing that is happening out in the Atlantic. There are no new storms forming in the Atlantic, the Caribbean, or into around the Gulf of Mexico. So far, things are very much on the quiet side, and that's good for now, but that just builds up more energy over portions of the area close to the Atlantic around what is called the Intertropical Convergence Zone. So for right now, Ernesto, well out thousands of miles away from the United States. But over the next couple of days, the next path that this is going to be taking is going to be interesting effect as high pressure rides north. High pressure is going to take this system and scoot it back a little farther to the north. So somewhere between noon and sunset tomorrow, our time, we should be seeing a Category 1 hurricane out of this, according to the latest computer models. Taking a look at Thursday evening, 24 hours, that should go up to a Category 2 storm. And then as we go even farther into the future, it remains a Category 2, pushing very close to Category 3 hurricane strength, so that is going to have to be watched. That tiny little dot right up there, that is Bermuda. And as of right now, if you take a look at where this cone is going, this storm could go anywhere in this cone. So it is possible we could see this system make its way farther to the left or to the right. But for right now, it looks like somewhere around 6 a.m. Sunday, Bermuda may take a direct hit from a Category 2 hurricane, winds of about 105 miles per hour. The good news is they'll get their rain cellars recharged. The bad news is this is going to be a dangerous storm, so hopefully everybody is able to stay safe out of that. By Monday morning next week, it is still paralleling the coastline. Again, it takes this sharp right-hand turn and goes well north, so it does not look to be a threat to the United States. Maybe possibly to the Canadian Maritimes if it stays on this trajectory. We'll see what happens, but for right now, Ernesto is not a threat to the United States. So we'll keep our eyes on that and see which direction that system decides to go out there. Thinking, let me see what I do with it. Well, I'm going to have to change this around. Give me just 1 second here. I did have some information about our picture of the day. Unfortunately, it did not make it over to our part of our graphics system, so it didn't really work too well. So we'll start off with our friend in roofing.com weather poll of the day. All the plastic in the Pacific garbage gyre. There's many gyres out there, sadly, and they carry a lot of garbage out there, including and especially plastic pollution, microplastics as well. All the plastic in the Pacific garbage gyre weighs as much as how many jumbo jets? 2, 4, 6, or 800? 58% of you chose 400, and that's close enough right there. It's about 400 to 500, give or take, estimate on that. So 58% of you got that right. Thank you very much, friendinroofing.com, for being our weather poll sponsor of the day. Let me see if I can get the picture of the day up here, because it didn't go through our graphics system, unfortunately. And I believe we have it here. Just 1 second. There we go. Thank you very much, Tracy Kilgore, viewer from Dalton. Nice view of sunset, including a fracture in the cloud cover, allowing for some rays to come on through. Very nice view from Dalton of sunset. Thank you very much for sending that in. We appreciate all of our viewers sending in all of the pictures that you do. And if you've got pictures you would like to share, we'd love to see them. So all you have to do is get them into us at pictures@wdef.com. You can go to our social media pages, drop them off in the comments section, or you can go and to our website, wdef.com/photos, to drop your pictures off. All right, we talked about the heat into around these portions of the Caribbean earlier, with the potential of that warm water over portions of the Gulf of Mexico. Matter of fact, take a look at some of this map right here. This is incredible to see temperatures this warm. Anything above 80 degrees is where the storms moving over that water can really pick up more water vapor and a lot more instability. And that can make the storms, the hurricanes, do a very good job of exploding quickly, in size and strength. It's called RI, rapid intensification. Anything pushing 90 degrees is absolutely insanely hot, and that again is caused by human-induced climate change. And this right here is just sitting, waiting for an area of low pressure to wander across it to really develop. What was left of Beryl making its way up across the Big Bend or Debbie, I should say, and Beryl itself also developed very quickly because of that very warm water. Now, also, and because of this, and this is also incredibly bad news, that day after day after day after day, we have more world record highs being broken all around the planet. And this, again, is not good news all the way on through. In Zenica, in the country of Bosnia-Herzegovina, which is, again, the broken up former Yugoslavia around the coastline there, excuse me, around the Balkans, 108, the all-time record high set in Bosnia-Herzegovina. That's the all-time high wiped away, close to the Bosniak national record. That's incredible to see, very scary as well. And in Peshkopi, Albania, another all-time record high of 103 degrees set earlier today. That from Twitter account Extreme Temps, if you'd like to know a little bit more there. Add to that, and this from the agency that knows what it's talking about when it comes to anything involving climate change and keeping track of numbers. The information here averaged from 91 to 2020. July, from the World Meteorological Organization, July was one of the hottest, if not the hottest month on modern record. It has never been as hot on this planet in modern times as it was in the last month. That's incredible. That's incredibly scary and incredible as well to see what climate change is doing. And the rest of the statement on Twitter, again, yet another unquote, yet another unwelcome indication of the extent that greenhouse gases from human activities are changing our climate. So if you want to argue with me that it's just natural cycles, feel free. I'm not going to listen to that because this is what we're seeing as the facts. It's mostly us. Some of it could be a combination of climate change caused by humans and some form of natural cycles, but it's getting very difficult to tell because of all the heat being collected on the planet by the greenhouse effect, being absorbed by the oceans, which is causing different storm patterns, stronger, more long-lived hurricanes, all that type stuff. But the main problematic goal, and I mean, take a look at Antarctica down here and up into the Arctic to where it is way, way, way above normal for this time of the year. And also, again, this is wintertime in Antarctica, so that should not be happening. And that, again, is one more reason why you and I need to talk very loudly about what climate change is all about and why our elected leaders need to be paying attention to what climate change is doing for looking our way down the road. That is something, again, to be very certain of. There's a lot of people who think that if we abolish a certain section of the government, that'll end the chatter about climate change. A lot of folks want to get rid of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration because they talk about climate change. Well, yes, they do. They study it. They study the change of our planet. They also study where ice and snow fall, where that can help things like ski resorts, or again, finding out where the worst part of climate change is going, where the snow is not now and will be somewhere else later on because of those changing patterns. They also study shipping, whether it's air or by boat, keeping industry and commerce flowing. Weather is one of those factors that really depends on getting ordered products from a manufacturer to the customer. And that's something else that NOAA helps out with. Severe weather safety from the Storm Prediction Center, the National Hurricane Center, studying how to better operate fisheries and how we can get better amounts of food from less amounts of products or less taxing the environment. The National Weather Service, under the NOAA banner, that is another thing that they do. And if you would like to find out more about what the National Weather Service does under the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, all you have to do, if you live in this area, all you have to do is show up. They're having an open house in Morristown, Tennessee, Saturday, September 28th. That's just about a month and a half from now, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. A great opportunity to learn more about what NOAA does. That'd be a great hashtag for Twitter for people to discover more about why NOAA is so important. If you'd like to know more about the tour, what's going on at the tour, the rules of the tour: no alcohol, no pets except for service animals. More information at their website, or you can go to our website, wdef.com/weather, if you'd like to know more about what's going on. Again, this is Saturday, September 28th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's at 5974 Commerce Boulevard, Morristown, Tennessee, 37814. This is one of the National Weather Service offices that cover the News 12 viewing area. Also Peachtree City, Georgia, also Huntsville, Alabama, also Nashville, Tennessee. That's where we get our warnings from, so we can bring them to you and keep you safe. So if you'd like to know more about this, here's a great way to find out more about what NOAA does without outright condemning NOAA. To say we don't need it, we don't like that they talk about climate change, so we just want to get rid of it, because that will solve the problem of climate change once and for all if people stop talking about it. Well, no, it will not. It won't even come close to that. It's basically the idea of getting rid of NOAA, and some other government agencies are about as good as sticking your fingers in your ears and humming real loud so you don't have to hear the bad news. A lot of people can say, well, nothing's changing where I am. Well, just because you're not seeing the sea level rise or the glacier melt or the water temperatures of the ocean increasing or the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere or all these different examples are examples of what we are doing to our planet. You may not like it. You may think it is completely and totally natural, but it is also something that we need to study if we want to survive on this planet. And getting rid of NOAA, because they happen to mention climate change, is not going to help in any way. It's not going to help the cause of getting rid of NOAA. It's not going to solve the problem of climate change, because the rest of the world is still talking about it. It is happening, and we are partially, if not mostly, responsible for it. So we do need to pay attention to this. So the idea of getting rid of NOAA because you don't like what they talk about when it comes to climate change, very short-sighted, not the best way to do things in my opinion. So again, good opportunity to learn more at a very rarely held open house with the National Weather Service. So please check that out on there. All right, I think that should do it. One more thing coming up in about a month and a day actually, on Saturday, September the 14th, you may think to yourself, okay, well, big deal. I observe the moon all the time. It's up in the sky, so what? Well, the date of International Observe the Moon Night has become a date to promote the science of astronomy. And the local group, Barnard Astronomical Society, will be holding a viewing event, September 14th, 7 to 11 p.m., Greenway Farm, that's 5051 Gann Store Road, Gann, in Hickson, Tennessee. And a quote from their website on this: if you have never looked at the moon through a telescope, prepare to have your mind blown. Really great opportunity to see through the telescopes of the Barnard Astronomical Society. Find out more about directions, about contact details, about what to expect that night at barnardastronomy.org if you'd like to know a little bit more about what's going on there. All right, I think that should do it for tonight. We're going to wrap things up early because my voice with all these allergies are not doing too well. So we're going to go ahead and say goodnight for right now. Andrew Harrison will be up with news on News 12 at 11. Rick Nyman is back with more sports. And, of course, I'll have your weather forecast. Chip Chapman will have a lot more coming up on News 12 on Wednesday, peak of the week morning, on the morning show starting at 5 a.m. Remember, you can get more information about the forecast and other details through our website, wdef.com/weather, which is also where we repost all of our weather overtime blogs. You can pick them up there very easily. And again, you can follow me on all these social media pages there. Stop by and grab a game of chess on lichess.org or on chess.com. We'd be grateful to hit you up for a game of chess at that location, or those locations, I should say. That should do it for tonight. Live and direct, I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onek from downtown Chattanooga at the WDEF News 12 studios. Thanks for joining us, and stay tuned for more with News 12 on air and online. And we'll see you again Wednesday evening.